Hi everyone, welcome to the lecture number 8 of vector integration. In this lecture, we'll continue with the examples on Stokes theorem. So here is the problem. Evaluate using Stokes theorem this line integral y dx plus z dy plus x dz, comma c being intersection of x square plus y square plus z square equal to a square, comma x plus z equal to a. Means the curve C is the intersection of sphere and the plane, which will be a circular curve. Okay. Now, here we have to calculate line integral with the help of Stokes theorem. The statement of the Stokes theorem we have integral over C f bar dot dr bar equal to double integral over S curl of f bar dot n cap ds. We can give this equation number 1. Now they have asked us to calculate line integral using Stokes theorem. It means we are going to do the calculation for the double integral. And when they ask us to calculate double integral using Stokes theorem, we need to do calculation for line integral. So let us calculate this double integral, which is on the right hand side. So for calculating this double integral, we need to calculate this del cross f bar and n cap, and then we have to take its dot product, and finally we'll calculate the double integral. Okay. So for calculating del cross f bar, we must have the value of f bar with us, and that can be determined from the given equation, given integral. Okay. This is the dot product of f bar dot dr bar. So if we separate f bar from dr bar, we will get f bar as yi plus zj plus xk, because dxi plus dyj plus dzk is the value of dr bar. Okay. So this will be our f bar. Now let us apply the definition of curl of f bar to calculate del cross f bar. So definition is ijk del by del x del by del y del by del z components of f bar y z x, and if we calculate this determinant, we'll get this value of del cross f bar. You can check the calculation, which will be equal to minus I minus j minus k cap. So let us give this equation number 2. Now after this, we'll do the calculation for the vector n cap. Okay. So for that, we must know the meaning of n cap also. Okay. The meaning of n cap is it is unit outward normal vector to the surface. Yes, this also we have discussed. This whatever surface of integration we are having, to that surface the perpendicular vector, or in the normal direction, the vector in the normal direction is your n cap. So from the information, S is intersection of sphere and the plane. This is that sphere and its plane. So when we intersect sphere by plane, we'll get a circular disc, okay, in the space. And this will be the situation there. X axis, y axis, z axis. Z axis always we keep as a vertical axis. Okay. And this is the sphere of radius a. Okay. And if we cut this by plane, x plus z equal to a. If we try to draw the x plus z equal to a plane in the space, the intersection will be a circular disc, and the intersection of the plane with z axis and x axis can be determined easily. If we put z equal to 0, we'll get x as a, and if we put x equal to 0, z equal to a. Okay. So that can be, means the point of intersection along x axis will be a 0 0, and the point of intersection along z axis will be 0 0 a. These 2 points I am talking about. Now this circular disc I have written over on this side. Okay, the rough sketch of that. And if this plane surface is the part of the plane x plus z equal to a, and this is your surface of integration. Okay. So when we have equation of surface with us, by using that equation of surface, we can determine the normal vector to that surface. Okay. And because we know the geometrical meaning of the gradient of the surface. Gradient of the surface is the normal vector to that surface. And we have to calculate a unit vector, therefore we'll divide that gradient of that surface by its magnitude. Okay. So I have written here del s by magnitude of del s, which will give us the n cap. So if you try to calculate del s, derivative with respect to x is 1, so 1 into I, with respect to y 0, therefore 0 into j, with respect to z, derivative is plus 1, therefore 1 into k, and the magnitude of this vector is root of 1 plus 1, that is root 2, and finally we'll get here n cap as I cap plus j cap plus divided by, sorry, I cap plus k cap, not j cap, I cap plus k cap divided by root 2. Now on using these two in equation 1, we'll get Dot product of the vector, this is del cross f bar, this is n cap. The dot product will be minus 1 by root 2 minus 1 by root 2, and which is equal to minus 2 by root 2, and minus 2 by root 2 value is minus root 2. That is a constant I have written outside the integration. Now here we have double integral of 1 ds. ds is some surface, and the meaning of this is ds can be dx dz. Okay, here it is dx dz, and the meaning of double integral dx dz is the area of that surface. Okay, and this surface is a circle, right? So therefore it will be equal to area of that circle. Now area of that surface, yes, it is a circle, right? So for calculating area we must know the radius of the circle, and for doing the radius, for calculating the radius, I have drawn here what right angle triangle. Okay, you can see here, this is the radius of that circular disc, this is the radius of the sphere, and if I join this origin to the center, I will get a perpendicular. This will be the perpendicular from the origin to the surfaces, and means it is a one property of sphere. If you intersect any sphere by some circle, okay, for example, if I consider this circle sphere, and if you intersect this by a plane, I will get a circle. And when we join this center of the sphere to the center of circle, that line will be perpendicular to that circular region. Okay, so this will be the perpendicular. Therefore here we'll have a right angle triangle, and as we are having right angle triangle, we can use Pythagoras theorem to calculate this radius. For calculating this radius, we have one side known, this side is not known to us, but this is a perpendicular distance from the point 0, 0, 0 to the plane. We have an equation of plane, we have point, so by using the formula of a perpendicular distance, we can determine this length. And once we get this length, the third one can be determined using Pythagoras theorem. So let us see the calculation for this perpendicular distance. This is the formula I have written of a perpendicular distance. The perpendicular distance from the point to the plane ax plus by plus cz is given by this formula. It is the magnitude of ax1 plus by1 plus cz1, means we are substituting this point in the equation of plane, divided by square root of a square b square c square. Now this is the equation of our given plane x plus z equal to a. Okay, and this is the point 0, 0, 0 from which we are determining distance. So if we put this point in this equation, we'll get required distance as minus a divided by root of 1 plus 1. Here the values of a, b, c are 1, 1, 1. Okay, and point is 0, 0, 0. So this in the numerator only the constant term will remain, and the constant term of the plane is, this equation of plane is minus a. Okay, so finally it will be a by root 2. Now we have the value of the third distance a by root 2. That is this distance we have calculated, it is as a by root 2. Fine. So this is a by root 2, this is a. Third can be calculated using Pythagoras theorem. This is the radius of the sphere. So after applying Pythagoras theorem, this will be equal to radius square equal to hypotenuse square minus the height square, which is a square by 2. The square of this is a square by 2. After subtracting, it will be a square by 2. Therefore the radius after taking square root will be a by root 2. Now once we have a radius, we can determine the area of that circle, which will be pi r square, and that will be equal to pi of square of this radius, that is a square by 2. Now we have area. Therefore, the value of the required integral will be, here I have substituted that area, pi a square by 2. Okay, now root 2 by 2 is 1 by root 2. So finally, we'll have answer as minus pi a square by root 2. This is quite lengthy example, but it is not difficult if you understand the geometry. Okay, now one example of this type I will give you for practice. You try to solve it. This is the problem for homework. Apply Stokes theorem to evaluate line integral over C 4y dx plus 2z dy plus 6y dz, where C is the intersection of x square plus y square plus z square equal to 6z and z equal to x plus 3. So again, x square plus y square plus z square equal to 6z. If you take this 6z on this side, you will get 0 on the right hand side. It is the general equation of a sphere. Okay, and this is the plane. So we are again having intersection of sphere with plane. So the C will be the circle, Answer for this problem is 36 pi by root 2. Some hint for solving this example I have written. Some answers you can check. The curl of f bar will be 4i minus 4k cap. N cap will be equal to I cap minus k cap by root 2. The value of f bar, after putting these values in the integral, you will get the value of integral f bar dot dr bar equal to 4 by root 2 times area of circle. And the circle which we'll get here after intersection will be a great circle. And as this is a great circle, the radius of that circle and the radius of the sphere will be same. Now, when the circle of intersection will be great circle, when the center of the sphere and center of circle matches, and when it is possible if the center of the sphere satisfies the equation of plane. Okay, we know that that circular disk is the part of the plane also, so it will satisfy equation of plane also. And if you calculate the center of this sphere by using the general equation of sphere, it will be minus u minus v minus w, and that will be equal to 0 0 3 after comparing the coefficients. Okay, and this 0 0 3 point satisfies the equation of plane. If you put 0 0 for x0 and for z3, you will get LHS equal to RHS. Means this point lies on that plane surface also. Means the center of sphere lies on that plane surface. It means the center of the sphere and the center of circle is same. That is, the given circle is a great circle. So like that you proceed, and means here you don't have to use the Pythagoras theorem for solving this example. Directly you can get the area. Means directly you can obtain, but for obtaining radius, you need to prove this, that it is a great circle. Okay, that calculation you handle. And if you have any kind of doubt, you can ask me in comment box. Thank you so much.